Welcome to Z's and Threes.
For three for the win. Yes!
And I left you, okay, the Cavs, they were potentially winning 70 games. Well, my graphics card towards ACL replaced it. He's out for the year. Cavs dropped their third consecutive for just the second time on the season, them losing 3 games in a row. The West, 2 through 8, has gotten all jumbled up, and Cade Cunningham, I gotta say, I was team early there, making his case to land on an all-NBA first team. Apparently, March Madness does not just apply to college basketball. 5 games, Thursday night, only 2 with both teams in playoff positioning, so 3 teams in handled their business games as well. Big news on the NBA ownership front. We know who and how much the Boston Celtics are transferring ownership for. What can we gather from such? Well, we will break it down. If you enjoyed the show, please do like and subscribe. If you're listening on pod, give us 5 stars, share with a friend. Let's get it. Group chat game of the night. Brooklyn, Indiana, Nets, Pacers. Why? Went to overtime. It was the most competitive game of the 5-game slate, first and foremost. Second, Miles Turner. Hook 'em horns. You got to find the silver linings, right? Yeah, the Horns, they didn't make the NCAA tournament. Couldn't win in the first 4. They had to play on the road, essentially, against Xavier. Let's not get it started. But Miles Turner, this game was in clutch time, obviously. Went to overtime. He had a monster block on Keon Johnson with 22.2 seconds left, with the Pacers up 2. Credit to Johnson, though. He went to the rack with authority and intention. You win some, you lose some. Miles Turner won that one. Free throws would seal the deal and win the game for his team. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks for Turner, 28 points, 16 rebounds for Benedict Mathurin. An important standings win for the Pacers. I will tell you why when we get there. Rest of the slate, let's start in Charlotte. The Knicks in town to take on the Hornets. This is one of those handle your business game. Knicks, though, still without Jalen Brunson and coming off a less than stellar loss to the San Antonio Spurs, in which Sandro Mamukelashvili, a.k.a. Mamu, went absolutely flamethrower. If y'all folks didn't see this, it was NBA history level. A career high 34 on 13 of 14 shooting for Mamu, but that was not the historic part. The historic part is he is the first player in NBA history to score 34 points in less than 20 minutes of run. He did it in 19. Could New York bounce back? It's Charlotte, right? Wrong. Only 2 lead changes in the game. The Hornets buzz to a 19-point lead. They win the thing, 115-98. The Knicks held under 100 points for the 7th time on the season. They only won 2 of those games. 25-5-8 for LaMelo Ball, 19 points, 14 rebounds for Mark. I swear the Lakers are going to need him come playoff time, Williams. That trade being rescinded, still perplexing. We haven't heard any further reporting as to how that'll be settled, with Charlotte disputing such. Knicks, back-to-back losses against lottery teams. In their defense, Knicks not really playing for anything at this point, seem pretty firmly locked in to the 3. Jalen Brunson, the news, he is out of his walking boot doing some light shooting per Tom Thibodeau and should be ready come playoffs. Toronto Raptors, Golden State Warriors, another handle your business game. The Warriors are now in the club looking out. Who has been kicked out of the club? Well, that is the Timberwolves. After fighting with Minnesota over the last 2 weeks, the 2-game slide for Minnie has the Dubs in control of the 6th and final guaranteed playoff position in the West. Could they consolidate tonight in hosting the Raptors? Draymond Green, story in this one. He attempts 9 threes in the first half, makes 4 of them, a team-high 18 points. Steph Curry did play 25 minutes, but he left the game when he took a nasty fall on his tailbone. The Warriors broadcast actually ran back the play with sound. There was a crunch. It did not sound pleasant. So it remains to be seen, is Steph Curry out? And if so, for how long? 5-point Warriors lead under 5. That means we were in clutch time. 112, 109, 52.4 left. We pick it up. Jimmy Butler has a block on Jamal Shed, who drives, double pumps. It wraps it up after Butler makes free throws. How did Draymond Green's Steph Curry impression pan out? Well, he shoots a career high in three-point attempts. His previous high was 13. He made 7 in that game. Tonight, he shot 14 threes, made 5 of them, still good enough to lead the team in scoring for the second time this season. 18 points, ugly but effective, 117-114 win. Jimmy Butler, triple-double, 16, 11, and 12. Chicago, Sacramento. This game, the Spider-Man meme. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine pointing at each other in different Spider-Man outfits. All right, you got it. DeRozan, LaVine, what would they do against Kobe White, the reigning Eastern Conference Player of the Week in the capital city of California? The Kings starting a 7-game homestand. A great opportunity to elevate in the play-in mix. Just 2 games above 500 coming into this one. The Kings have not exactly been world beaters, though, at Golden One Center. The only West playoff potential team, I say that because they are not guaranteed to make it without 20 or more wins at home. Their home record 18-15 prior to tonight. This game, well, if you want to start the homestand on the right foot, it was not that. They start the game off on the right foot. Their biggest lead was 19. They led by 9 at half before a wild lead swing alert. The Bulls run them in the second half. 73-52 second half. Kobe White cooked fest once again. Game high, 35 points. Did it on a completely unethical 13 of 14 free throws. Kevin, where was this when you were with us? Herter drops 25, 5, and 7 on his old team. He's now playing for the Bulls. Used to play for the Kings. The difference tonight, the Bulls literally did run the Kings. 25 fast break points to just 8 for Sacramento. Bright spot, 4-sack DeMar DeRozan. Well, maybe a bright spot for him. He became just the 27th player in NBA history to crest the 25,000 career points scored mark. Final game of the night, Milwaukee. Lakers, Bucks, Lakers in LA. Lakers on a 3-game win streak. Ooh, should be juicy. Well, the Lakers starters were Dalton Knecht, Markieff Morris, Jackson Hayes, Jordan Goodwin, and Gabe Vincent. Exactly. Bucks go start to finish in the lead, 118-89 the victory, 28-7-4 for Giannis. Dame sat this one out for Milwaukee. 20 points for Kuzma against his former team. 23 for Gary Trent Jr. A team high and career high 17 from Bronny James, who shot 7 of 10 from the field. LeBron, his father, ramping up for a return. Could be Saturday against the aforementioned Chicago Bulls. So how would the Lakers' loss stir up the West pot? Remember, all these teams so close together. Well, the Lakers fall behind the Nuggets from the 3 to the 4. The Nuggets have one more win. The teams are equal on losses. The Lakers one less loss than the Grizzlies, 26-27. That is how they stay ahead. Teams equal in wins. Can the Warriors get into the mix is now the question. Their resurgence since the trade deadline. Out of Jimmy Butler, they are only 2 games out of the 5, 4 games out of the 3. So it is possible, but will they have to do it without Steph, and for how long? In the East, the Pacers and the Bucks remain a game apart in the race for the 4 seed. Pacers currently occupying that spot, so would start off against one another in the first round, with Indy having home court. Detroit, though, in the mix, half game behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Heavy pour leading score of the night presented by Portland Water. Visit them at drinkpdxwater.com. Kobe White, 35, well-deserved on the tear that he has been on. Who needs Eastern Conference Player of the Week when you can get the heavy pour leading score of the night, brought to you by Portland Water. Dunk of the night, we are going to go back to Hook'em Horns. Miles Turner, he had a nasty yam after a TJ McConnell steal on an inbound. Performance of the night, tip of the cap to Jimmy Butler III. Doing what the Warriors went out and got him for, and that is to spell Steph. Butler had talked about being able to shoulder the load for the team. He did so tonight with a triple-double. He may have to do so for a longer period of time as we wait on the prognosis for potential Steph Curry injury. That's the biggest takeaway of the night. Steph Curry may be injured. All right, let's talk green, quiche, Fetty, whatever you want to call it. Celtics green and greenback. $6.1 billion. That's what it takes to buy you a defending NBA champion franchise. Also one of the most iconic across both the sport of basketball and all of sport. The most titles in NBA history, having earned it last year. They have 18. The buyer, Bill Chisholm. Who is that? Well, he is a Massachusetts native and die-hard Celtics fan. He had been quoted as saying this purchase began 50 years ago when he became a Celtics fan. He is the managing partner at Symphony Technology Group. What do? Well, private equity, duh. The price, it is the highest ever in North American sports history. It trumps the $6.05 billion paid for the Washington Commanders, the previous highest. And it blows the NBA's highest purchase price out of the water. $4 billion was the price when Matt Ishbia bought the Phoenix Suns. The outgoing owners who bought the Celtics in 2002 for $360 million. How about that for an ROI? That ownership group led by Wick Grusbeck, he will stay on as the CEO and governor at the behest of Bill Chisholm for the next 3 seasons. First order of business for the new ownership group, well, that is the $500 million plus in both committed payroll and luxury tax payments. Remember, Jason Tatum extension kicks in. Go along with Jaylen Brown, you're going to have 2 players making $70 million. That's why it's all the more important for the Celtics to capitalize while they can on potentially repeating, as who knows how much longer past this year that group will be together. Finally, business-wise, does this move the final impediment to NBA expansion? Remember, we've been talking about expansion for a long time now, but with the sale done of the Boston Celtics, that was a surprise. Come the end of the finals, right after they won, it was announced, hey, the Celtics are for sale. Want to buy an NBA champion? Well, now, Seattle, Las Vegas, the bar has been set. If you have $6 billion, you can have a seat at the NBA table. House shoes, New Balance, fresh foam, 1080s. I was dusting it up a little bit today, so they're a little dirty. But hey, wear your kicks, folks. Grade A's. Fitting that we were talking Boston, the Boston Celtics. I was wearing some New Balances. Okay, after watching the games tonight over the course of this week, as I do, you can't tell me that the teams care about the standings or matchups at this point. Maybe there's still too many moving pieces and they're saying, hey, we'll play matchups later down the road. But with the amount of injuries and load managing that we're seeing, I am not convinced that standings, if you are in the playoff picture, are important for all these teams. Health is more important. Simple statement would be to say the NBA season is too long. But the more developed take, us here at Z's and Threes, myself, Tyler Denning, we like the more developed, nuanced take. Each game does not have enough meaning. We have a division structure. It means nothing. We have a conference structure. It means nothing because they are all just one of 82. The league has tried to attach financial penalties, but teams don't seem to care. If it means playing their starters or stars or resting them to get them potentially healthier for a long playoff run, well, they'll just take the fine. The Jazz aren't even in the mix, and they're happy to take the fine. We can play 82 games. We can play more games. It just needs to be more segmented. I took on this endeavor, Z's and Threes, in the preseason. Little did I know what I was biting off to give you guys a daily NBA recap show. That is 82 games across the course of, 5.5 months, something like that, Monday through Friday. I'm grinded. It is an endeavor. And I'm not playing, I've said that before, but the feeling I get, I think between 50 and 60 is the sweet spot for a regular season. After that, it just gets a little laborious. Yes, there may be some drama and we may see some good games down the stretch as teams fight, but 82 games, it's too much. Some nights you have to make lemonade on the court and here in the studio. There is generally something worth recapping every single day, but the 5 games tonight, granted going up against the NCAA tournament first night slate, so there weren't a lot of barn burners, but the best game perceived of the night should have been Milwaukee-LA, but load management. Injuries you can't account for, but that's also why we have load management, is because teams are trying to prevent injuries. Unfortunately for myself here at Z's and Threes, I'm a one-man band. I cannot load manage. Well, I did once earlier this season, and I felt bad about it, not giving you guys a show. Last night, or 2 nights ago, after I'd mixed down the show, yeah, the graphics card went down. I was like, this is going to be a problem. But look, we are right back to it to tell you the important things. Point being, we need to revisit the season structure. It can be still at 82 games, but it needs to be broken up. We have to find a way to make it more meaningful across the course of a long season. Otherwise, players aren't going to play. And imagine if the one game that you circled as a Lakers fan, being that it was in LA, or a Milwaukee fan if you live in LA, was this matchup. You buy tickets 6 months in advance and you're hyped to go see it, and that's what you get. Pretty raw deal. What to watch over the course of the weekend? Well, you're probably not going to watch the NBA. Why? Because you're going to watch NCAA basketball and see your bracket continue to dissipate and fall off the cliff because you had a 4 seed or a 2 seed going all the way. Yeah, it happens to everybody. So, what do? Well, you watch Z's and Threes come Monday, because I will recap everything that you need to know from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as there will be plenty as we continue down the home stretch. There are 2 weeks left in the regular season from Sunday. So, yeah, rock with your boy. Come back on Monday. I will keep you updated. If you like the show, please do like and subscribe. Share with a friend. 5 stars if you're listening on pod. Have a great weekend. We will see you back here Monday. Peace.